Well, hello, 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 everybody. My name is Sarah, and this is Pearls of Wisdom and Food with sharing my keto lifestyle and other little tidbits of life. So, welcome. If you're new here, because it's January 4th and this is the day that you've decided you're going to pull it all together, welcome. And and if you're not new here and you're like, that's it. I'm going to tighten it up. Welcome here again. I'm so glad to have all of you. We do life on life's terms. We don't we don't have judgment. We sometimes enjoy things we shouldn't. Sometimes our halo gets a little bit tarnished. Yeah, so we need our brasso, don't we? And so we live life on life's terms, and they aren't the most ideal. They aren't what we were doing a year ago. And so things are different. We could suffer from depression. We could suffer from stress eating, emotional eating, overeating in general, just, being addicted to sugar, to carbs, to food, to just some sort of comfort to take us away from what life is dealing out right now. And there's no trump cards, are there? Well, these things happen. Do you have your cuppa? I got my Wicked Joe's. This is Wicked Italian Organic Joe's. I get it in the local grocery store, but you can get it. It's roasted, created in Maine. hmm I like the Sumatra, the Wicked Italian, and the Wicked French. Don't you know? But of course, I have 10 varieties because I'm an overbuyer, a hoarder of things like coffee. I like my butters too in abundance, and my Faya yogurt, and my Bragg's dressing. I like to have an extra 6 or 7 bottles around because you never know. And, 4 freezers at this point. It's crazy, but that's what I do. And also the pizza shells, the Cali apostrophe flour pizza shells that I use every Saturday when we have a Saturday pizza. Okay, so it's January 4th. And 70, sounds so funny to say, 70 years ago, I was adopted. Yep, my parents got me, and they sent out little adoption notices. I was 3 months old, and my name was Gail Ann Baker. And then they changed it to Sarah Parker Brownell, Parker being my father's first name. So there you go. I was called Sally for the first 40 years, a nickname. But in my annals of juicy background, when I was married to husband number 3, he was having an affair with a woman named Sally, which was my nickname for the first 40 years of my life. And so that got a little confusing. So I decided at 40, don't you know, to go by my legal name of Sarah. And so that was 30 years ago, no turning back. And I was working for H&R Block, and I had to sign my name as Sarah, Sarah Pearl, on the tax returns because that's my formal name. And so I said, I think I'm going to remove myself from that whole nightmare of 4 or 5 years. And he was a con man. That could be a Lifetime movie. Too spicy for Oprah, but a Lifetime movie. And so I started using the name Sarah, and I like that. So, yeah, that's a little history along with my food history, which, of course, in 1974, 5, 6, maybe 1997, I'm not sure, I entered into Overeaters Anonymous. And there I found a lot of answers, a lot of help. And so I got to see how food affects not only myself, but other people, and learn that, once you're a pickle, because I call us pickles here as well, you can't go back to being a cucumber. So once I recognized myself as a food, carb, sugar addict, I realized that there's no cure, there's only managing it, right? So if you're sitting here, July, right? Here I am in my fleece robe. If you're sitting here January 4th and you're knowing that you have a Ms. Slick in your life, that's what I call my addict, then you know that we always kind of walk gingerly around it, and we really don't want to awaken the bear, right? Because the bear is like, you know, has a voracious appetite for carbs and sugar and just overeating in general. And so I've been fortunate up until now to do my food plan the way that I do it. I eat less than I used to eat. Now, being 70, I realize I don't need that much. I practice clean, intermittent fasting. If you don't know what it is, Google it or YouTube Google it, and you'll find plenty of pioneers in the field that can help you like they've helped me. You can watch their videos and understand what the word clean means, and how you might have been mistaken thinking what fasting was before, like I was. And even Dr. Fung at one point said having fat during your fasting period won't spike your blood sugar and etc. Well, he was right, but um, I didn't really lose that much until I gave up and did it in this new, cleaner way, right? So the game changer for me was really adhering to that for the 23 hours, and then in my 1 hour of OMAD, I have different foods than I used to have. A little bit, more carbs, more veggies, sometimes a treat, and a nice portion of protein, and like I said, many veggies. And it just seems to work for me for now. And I'm amazed that it does. But one of the gurus or the pioneers has what we would consider excess carbs on the keto food plan, and she's a size zero. So, and she lost 80 pounds and maintains it. And so, I've been fortunate. It's been a game changer for me. I do like my assortment of foods. Keeping the calories under like 1,200 or 1,000 is good for my size gut, my size period, and I just mosey along and love how it works for me. That's just the way that it is. And I have no regrets. Things are always being tweaked or evolving. I watch other people, and it's funny. I try to keep to the food here because I it's a food station, right? But I've seen so many carnivore, keto, low carb, high fat people veer off. You don't even hear what they're eating anymore. And it's just either political or it's, pandemic related. And it's just more about their life. One even writes and sings songs. So I try to keep to the food addiction, the food cravings, the food in general, and just share with you how it works. I sometimes I do the snacks, sometimes I do other things, but I continue to talk about the food related things. And there's so many emotions for somebody like me revolving around food. It's just always been my comfort. It's been what I turn to. Being an only child of two alcoholics, I couldn't get out of the house fast enough. So I was babysitting at 9, and I discovered that, the parents of the children I was babysitting had tons of food in the cupboard. And so I could be paid to eat while watching their kids. Love that. And then I got married to husband number 1 at 20, so I could get out of the house, and that just gave me the permission slip to mostly drink, although I was still an overeater. But it was always, he was in the Air Force, and all of his single buddies, it was party every night. I'd be the hostess, and it'd be just all guys and cases of beer. And, yeah, at the end of the night, I would probably overeat. That was a pattern that I had. And so that's how, well, those were my 20s. And then I was divorced then and had no kids then, and then had 2 kids with husband number 2, and that was crazy. And then there was the outrageous divorce diet after that divorce, because that's what you do. And then after that divorce and that weight loss, I also got I also got alcohol sober. So, and I had had OA back in the 70s, so I still brought along OA along with the AA. And so through my 20s, 30s, and 40s, it was just crazy times. Met Greg in my early 50s and became food aware, or more practicing of the food awareness that I had in my 50s, which was in the 1990s. And so, really, for the last 30 years, I've just been food aware, carb aware, protein aware, sugar aware, overeating aware, the connections of overeating, hoarding food, all that kind of stuff. And so that's what we talk about here, while a lot of us do practice the keto diet. I consider myself on maintenance the last 4 to 6 months of the clean intermittent fasting. I've been lucky with my weight. Each month I've lost like a pound. I was a very heavy little girl. Of course, I was taking these kids that I was babysitting to the playground next to the penny candy store. So I would buy dollars worth of penny candy, which, if you're my age, you know how far that went. You get your brown bag, and I'd sit there on a swing and kind of watch them shoving candy in my mouth. Yep, that was my babysitting career. But anyway, and bad teeth. You should, whenever there's a new dental hygienist in my life, they say, "Whoa, you have a lot of fillings." Yep, I do. And so I fought being overweight, and I was always the funny one that had the skinny girlfriends. That was like the entryway to like ending up, dating somebody or taking somebody hostage, as we say in AA. So I've been with Greg 14, 15 years at this point. It's been a nice, stable existence with food. He eats standard American diet. I don't, but I do allow treats now that I'm on maintenance. I weigh myself once a month, and I still use my chronometer and my kitchen scale, and my bathroom scale once a month, but my kitchen scale and my chronometer are all the time. I'm less precise with it as I used to be, because I almost can do the visual of like what 30 grams of red pepper looks like, or 30 grams of celery, things like that. I eat a big A salad, or a ridiculously big salad, probably 5 of the 7 days of the week. And it seems to be working. And I still have a hearty appetite. And so I fill it with a lot of vegetables that I love. I love my vegetables. I love my peppers raw, my mini organic peppers raw, or on the pizza, or cooked alongside of something. I love them, and they're just sweet and delicious. And to me, it's like veggie candy. And so I'm fortunate that I love veggies the way that I do. When I was carnivore for like 8 or 9 months, about a year ago, I don't know how I did it, but I just ate meat, and it kind of began to make me sick, and I began to really be thinking of it. So I tiptoed back into being keto with small servings of veggies to see if they'd work. Lettuce didn't, but all the peppers and the broccoli coleslaw, the regular coleslaw that I get, that's organic from Whole Foods, it all works. So I have my big salads, and I just seem to enjoy life on life's terms. And we talk here a few times a week. I've got thousands of videos. If you're new, you can go all the way back and see me in hideous lighting doing Weight Watchers. So I love food. I do Instacart shopping. In case you don't know, I love food. That's what I do for a living: Instacart shopping for groceries for people, and sometimes Uber Eats, more food. So I'm all about the food, and I'm so glad you're all here. I want you to have a wonderful January 4th because it's here and it's after Christmas. And so hopefully all the goodies are gone and you're enjoying what you promised yourself that you would do after the holidays. You know, how many times, if you're my age at 70, how many times have you said after the holidays? That's it. Yeah, right. Okay. So we support and encourage, and we don't judge how we do our days. We're just human beings. That's it. So glad you're here. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.